Hey, what's going on, guys? Bob Mentality here. And today I want to talk to you about the crazy day we had in the ES, where we're potentially heading in the future, and let's talk about the less than impressive move on the VIX. So here's what we got. I said in the last video, this 4100, 4093 supply area was in play. This so far was just a relief bounce. It makes sense that we bounced this far. 4,000 is the bull's light on the sand. Below that, we start to see panic ensue, a VIX rise, and have the potential of retesting and breaking these prior lows. That's exactly what we did. Currently, we have the potential to make a higher low on the daily, given the velocity of this yank and drop from 4,300. It kind of makes me a little bit less certain on just the immediate reclaim of 4,000 and rip over 4,100. It seems like it could be a longer process than that. This drop right here reminds me a lot of this drop here on the reject off of that 4,300. It was a quick downside confirm, open red, close red, and then we broke and flushed that previous low, right? That's looking like what we could do here. We could easily see downside just above that low, close, and the next day drop through it, or gap down and drop through it tomorrow, right? That seems, given the volume, what's likely to happen at this point in time. We're just even after this significant of a pullback, we're not just seeing follow through bulls supporting this price action over 4,000 yet. Okay, very possible we see more downside and we could get the higher low, but right now the momentum on the daily chart remains in the bulls, in the hands of the bears, and the proof remains in the hands of the bulls, right? They need to prove themselves before we can restart this uptrend. But the daily uptrend starts with us making a higher low over 38.55, and we won't know if we do that until, let's just say, Thursday, Friday session, right? That's when we should have a better idea of where we're headed. The VIX, something to note about the VIX, okay? Let me zoom out here on the daily on the VIX, okay? You can see that here on the 12th, the VIX, when we hit this low of 38.55, the VIX was sitting at 34, okay? Almost 35. Right now, we are sitting here at 39.18. The VIX is sitting just below 31, right about 31 there. And you can see the low of that day, the low of that, the low of the 12th was nearly that same exact price, right? Near the highs. The VIX is just lagging behind. It's pretty heavy. There's no panic yet. I read on Twitter, Zero Hedge was saying this was one of the slowest, most boring downside, most controlled sessions we've seen. And if we zoom in here on the 15-minute, I mean, look at this. Just steady unwind. There's no panic here. Just steady offloading, guys. Steady offloading. And the VIX is elevated. Yes, it's over 30. Yes. But when we see panic is when this thing can go to 40, 40, 45, 50, right? And that's the high risk reward that a lot of the longs are looking for, but we're just not getting it yet, guys. We're just not getting it. It's going to be a bumpy road. I mean, we had a strong close yesterday, a very strong close here on the SPY. Gave it back pre-market. Didn't even let anybody get a chance to go out. Opened up, didn't even pop for you. Just dropped right off, pretty much off a cliff. So if you weren't quick to get that stop out, or if you were waiting for a little bit of a rally, you got killed. Okay. This is the market we're in right now. Things are a lot more difficult. You've got to take those short-term profits. We just have to let the chart prove itself to you. Try not to anticipate too much. We'll see what happens after the overnight session if the bulls manage to hang on to that 38.55 tonight, or we just wake up at 3800. You know what I mean? The main levels to be looking here, the demand is 3900 small and then 38.55. There's a big gap of demand right there. Supply is going to be on the 39.50, 39.80 or 75.80 area, and then 4,000, right? That's going to be the supply. We'll see if the VIX does anything worth mentioning. I mean, I've been waiting for this thing to go parabolic to 40 for forever. It just won't do it, no matter what the price is. Who knows exactly why that is. I'll jump over to beta real quick. Here on Apple, it's closed on that 140. If we break that 140, this name, I'm just going to zoom out a little bit more. This name will look more attractive into 125. 125 would probably be a decent scoop. That's assuming the ES is at or below 3,800. If ES is at 38.50 and Apple's on 125, that's kind of sketch because I expect more range on the downside on ES, but we'll see. But that 125 to 130 is interesting on Apple. Zoom out here, Amazon, very small, very weak bounce. We're getting close here to the lows. 2,000 is an interest level on Amazon, assuming ES is at 2,800. Yikes, man. There's just not much to go off of. Yeah, 2,000 is an interest level for me for the long idea. Amazon, I'll check back on it. Apple, excuse me, I already did Apple. AMD. AMD 70, what is it, 75? Yeah, 75 remains an interest area. NVIDIA, 150 is definitely an interest area. 150 if the ES, of course, is on 3,800. Microsoft looks very interesting if we can get down to this 230. 230 if the ES is 2800, and Tesla looks interesting, of course, down at this previous pivot here at 570. I mean, really, that's what's coming next. I mean, if we snap this 677, we're going to drop 100 points. 570 does look very interesting, and of course 500 on Tesla. But I'm going to get out of here, guys. Remember to continue developing that bot mentality, which is the trading mentality where you learn to eliminate your emotions. You can trade like a machine, guys. I'm out of here. Deuces.